Hello there, everybody. Welcome back to the show. It's been a week. I figured since we had a wonderful time last week talking about James, that it would behoove me to continue on talking about him because there are some updates as well as some other things. You know how I am, guys. I'm one of those type of guys where I look at something like, you know what? I'm gonna go a mile further. I'm gonna make it worth every fucking mile of the buck that's paid for this dumb shit. So we're going from talking about one spur to talking about 3 updates for this week about these type of people. And I hope that you guys will enjoy the adventure that we're going to go into, because I'm pretty sure that some of it will at least be news to you. So let's go look around the chat. Hello there, everyone. Hello there, Dan, Unknown Archive. Hello. Hey there, Jennifer. Anthony Hunter. And hey, hello there. Hello there, King's Landing. Reader of Shadows, or, how do you pronounce that? Hello there, Gage. We're going breeding Felly D. Yeah, so, there's been some crazy shit from what I've heard last time talking about James, so I figured we're gonna talk about a bit of that. I don't think it's gonna be that much of an update, but, again, we got, like, other spurgers to talk about tonight, so I hope it's still worth it. Hello there, Vash. Hello there, Tyler. Yeah, we got a bunch of people tonight already. Holy shit. We got Digital Strike, Sir Adamantine. Hello there. So, it's come to my attention that James has gotten worse. James has gotten so much fucking worse, apparently. Like, the dude incriminates himself like fucking crazy. You would not believe. It's very weird how that works, but again, we'll get into it. We'll get into it. It is bonkers how this guy thinks. I don't even understand. How this guy thinks. It's crazy. Let's see if I can get to the TV room. Let's see. All right. So we got the TV room. Let's see if everything works as it should. There we go. So not a lot of pre-planning there, as usual. So this is a video from Hatman about some of the more recent stuff that came out about, I guess 3 days ago or so, about James. So we're gonna read into it.
Do I like girls that look on the younger side?
Oh, you definitely do, James. You definitely love to breed girls on the younger side, but I highly doubt it's the legal type of, young. But we'll get into that in a second.
That are like 18, 19, 20? Of course.
Sure you are, buddy.
Every guy that has a brain does. Okay?
Hey guys, apparently it requires a brain to be into underage girls. Interesting.
But that doesn't mean that that's who I'm seeking to have as a sexual partner.
Press X did out on that one.
Although, if it's legal, it's not immoral.
Oh boy, I love that argument. Okay, so I've seen some maps do this shit when they get in trouble with the whole, like, oh, the people called me out for predatory behavior, but guys, it's legal where I'm at. It's legal where I'm at. It's like, it's not an argument. It is a literal non-argument. So, yes, the chat goes, yikes, instantly. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. He's gotten so much worse.
Okay, keep that in mind. If it's legal, it's no longer immoral, right?
Let's go read this. Eliana Morales. I don't know how you pronounce that, if it's like Morals. 15-year-old picture, apparently. Goes, the last time you posted a 15-year-old Ileana reaction was shoulders to busts to waist to hips. Oh my. He wants to breed that 15-year-old Ileana. Oh. Exactly, Fash. At one point, slavery was legal. It's a non-argument. I stand by my weird and statement and would like to add that your face is kissable, adorable, and the best part is you look exactly the same. Oh god. Same me always, I would like to be worth listening to rap music. Oh god. Oh god. I would want to say, I know you're really busy with family in school, yeah, because, you know, they're probably doing stuff for their lives. Of course they would be busy. Oh no. How dare they be busy? Probably a little bit of time, which is why I like to occasionally remind you that every time you respond to me, I really do appreciate it, especially with how nutty I've been. You really are a sweetheart, and I have said your character is even sweeter than your aesthetic. You're really like a life glitch. Oh god. Ah! Fuck. Oh my god. What's this? Who's the skills all attorney Gail is me and myself, but 25 years so. Oh, whether you lotion abuse work, you look exactly the same as you were 15. Yikes. Oh my fucking god, yikes. Okay. Clearly my whole YouTube channel and Facebook account was my way of communicating with you, and little you know, you really made me feel good and inspired me quite a bit. I hope you know that I hope I didn't upset you. I've always given you the ability to say what you needed me to chill out. Admittedly, sometimes I get circumstances were the better of me. I let circumstances get the better of me. Blah blah blah. Worked at being less public and only expressing the creepy stuff directly to you. Like that's going to make it any better. Holy fucking shit. God, not even a couple minutes into this, and I'm regretting this. God. I've noticed James treats YouTube like social media accounts similar to Facebook or Instagram. Says for Pindia, is that pronouncing your name? Yeah, you're not wrong. I've actually noticed that a lot myself. He tends to treat YouTube blogs like some type of like Facebook video shit. Where you're just like talking to your friends on Facebook. Oh yes, also from Vash's suggestion, feel free to pass those likes and shares. God, fuck. I hope you know when I said I jerked off to your photo. Oh, wow, okay, this got even worse. Oh, God. I wish I had cigarettes, dude. How old is the cigarette again? I wish I had cigarettes. I wish I had alcohol for this. Holy fucking Christ. I hope you know when I said I jerked off to your photo. Oh, your photos! I meant the ones only you and them, and also we're of legal age, though. Immediately, 15 years old Alana is quite the little piece of jailbait. Winky face. Holy shit. I just hope nothing was said was taken out of context. And God, what happened? I'm sorry. Please, I really know mostly fantasize about snuggling you right now. And I know we won't have sex, but I like you on another level and also no need to have sex. Oh god, he's taking the... It's not a sexual connection, it's an emotional one to a whole new level. You fucking cuck. Holy fuck. You pedo cuck. You fucking yikes. Oh, fuck me. I hate this planet. Oh, Ileana, your little schoolgirl look is really... Oh, God. I'd love to give you a hug and a kiss. I looked at the meaning of Blue Heart, and I just wanted to like you in my friend zone. I really like you, sweetheart. Someone named Ileana Morals is a lovely little Serena. The best way is sweetie. Oh... God.
And also...
Yep, gonna eat myself. I wish I could do that.
So, I like mestizas better than castizas. And furthermore, God. What's even better is, you know, the age of consent is much lower in Ecuador, too.
See, what is Ecuador's age of consent? The age of consent in Ecuador is 18 years of age. Consent is the minimum age in which individuals is considered legally old enough to consent to participate in sexual activities. So, yeah, I've mentioned this on my other stream. I know that basically people only knew about this as soon as I talked about it specifically, because apparently I was like the only one that really brought information of this to the fold. But, yeah, again, just want to reiterate the basic fact that Mr. James over here really wants to go to Ecuador at one point, because a lot of it had to do with something about the age of consent. And over there it's 14. And also, again, this is not mentioned a lot by a lot of people, but Ecuador is a massive, like, sexual ring hub. A human trafficking ring. It's a very big one. There is a lot of criminality in there. Practically part of their economy at this point is human trafficking. We got a bunch of these, like, old men with money going to the country, having fun with kids that they're not supposed to, obviously, and then coming back to country, or, maybe just moving there in general. I've heard that it's pretty common. Same type of people that get flagged because they go to well-known places like that. I think, was it Philippines or Singapore also has the same thing? Like, that's a fucking yikes. But it's nice to know that the information that's been discussed on the stream has bled over to other content creators who love to talk about James. It's good to know that I have an impact on the community in that regard. It's because, like, that's a big self-admittance right there. It's like, fucking yikes, dude. Yeah, Philippines and Thailand. There we go. There we go. Thank you, AP. Thank you for the assistance there. Yeah, no, Thailand and the Philippines has a huge...
So tonight, my favorite person on Facebook shut down her profile, and I didn't get a chance to say goodbye.
That's another one from older stuff. We're not going to get into that one, because that's old news. This one's old hat, so nah. But yeah, essentially, yeah, James has been back to spurging, because people started to realize just the true extensiveness of his insanity. And for, like, the past week, if you look at his community tabs, I dare you to look into it. Like, trust me, look into it. He's spamming the shit out of, like, different forms of content right now to bury his current shit, but he's, like, constantly trying to defend himself. He's trying to be play semantics about, fucking, oh, these people they're like child touchers or something, guys. Like, oh, no, I'm not.
Actually, the use of technology, okay, the use of technology to facilitate the achievement of basically surpassing human frailty. So you're utilizing technology to surpass human frailty. And this can be explored in many ways. Even things like water generation. Like, what water generation is where you take the water out of the atmosphere and create drinkable water for people, like, in areas like, in places like Africa, South America, etc. You can make drinkable water for people that don't have drinkable water out of thin air, literally. Well, thick air, technically, I guess you'd say.
Okay, what does this have to do with Epstein's Island? Like, I'm sorry, James, this doesn't make... Okay, what does this have to do with Epstein's Island? What does it have to do with this? I want to know.
Now, I don't know if Mr. Epstein had funded any of that, but he did fund important scientific research and mathematics research, particularly in the field of physics. Now, what's important to understand is transhumanism. Now, what I like...
I mean, I would love to have an example as to how he did that, because that's not specifically something that ever gets mentioned. So if you would like to explain that, James, feel free, but something tells me you don't want to do that.
The good thing about Jeffrey Epstein is, although it didn't stick, it did bring to the forefront the idea of transhumanism, this idea of using technology to surpass human frailty. Now, there are a lot of popular transhumanists, okay? My favorite is, of course, Maria Konovalanko, who worked at the Buck Institute on Aging, which is in San Francisco, to research aging, to research the processes of aging and how to reverse.
Okay, again, how is this about children and Epstein's. Jeffrey Epstein, leader in the field of physics.
The processes of aging and things of that nature. She's a brilliant woman. Now, there will be links to various transhumanists as well as the things that Jeffrey Epstein's foundation did. And I think it's important that, number one, this is not clickbait. This is real. This is a real video in defense of Jeffrey Epstein's funding of these.
Yeah, he was pretty good at transporting humans, I guess. Kaz, you need to have the cyberpunk clips for this. God, I wish I had that right now.
Important scientific and mathematics research projects, you know what I mean? Now, what people need to understand also, like another big supporter, like some of the transhumanists that you'll see mentioned in the description that you should follow the links to what they're about, are people like Ray Kurzweil, the guy that wrote The Singularity is Near, and other books, but also has made the flatbed scanner that helps blind people read. He's done a lot of things, exoskeleton type suits that help the paraplegics to walk. He is a brilliant man that has done a lot to help humanity. He's also one of the people at the forefront of supplementation, and he wrote a couple books with Terry Grossman. What is it?
Okay.
Fantastic Voyage, Live Long Enough to Live Forever, by Ray Kurzweil and Terry Grossman. And
I'm sorry, guys. I'm just sitting here. It's one of those things where you're just kind of looking at, okay, get to the point, Mr.
Transcend by Ray Kurzweil and Terry Grossman. I did not do reviews of those books yet. I do plan on it. I think that everybody should read both of those books if they're interested in life extension. Not necessarily just those books, of course. You should read as much as you can get your hands on and get ideas that can be actionable.
What does this have to do with Epstein? Like, you can say anything about his ideology specifically, but that doesn't change the fact that people will focus on what he's most known for, which is trafficking children specifically, and committing lots of insane amount of human trafficking that has affected essentially the world as we know it. So, sounds all that good shit until, you remember specifically that Epstein was not a good person.
But I think...
and he also didn't kill himself.
Kurzweil and Dr. Grossman have a good idea. Right now I'm actually reading, along with Dr. Duke's book, My Awakening, I'm also...
It's the classic Hitler had a couple of good arguments idea. That's practically what he's doing. That is exactly what he was doing. Yes, that is exactly how this whole thing comes about. There's another thing I would like to mention real quick, but I'll have to save it for a bit.
So reading Dr. Grossman's book, which is The Baby Boomer's Guide to Living Forever, which seems to actually predate the other two books. He seems to have been at the cutting edge before Kurzweil was, which is interesting because Kurzweil is usually at the cutting edge of everything. My point is that transhumanism is important. I don't call myself a transhumanist. I call myself a life extensionist and a U.S. progressive more than anything else. Okay, a Teddy Roosevelt-style progressive. I believe in the implementation of technology to transcend human frailty and to make society work more smoothly. That's where I'm coming.
Jesus, why would he want to live forever alone in a shitty apartment by the airport? Yeah, that's a good question. I would love to know myself. I believe that earlier someone sent me something where apparently in his channel, James believes he's a follower of Jungology, juvenility, or something like that. I'm not pronouncing that. I'm butchering that like a motherfucker. But yes, it's a literal strange practice about people trying to live lifestyles and fucking about keeping their young look, their youth by doing as much as they can to eat and have a diet and do stuff to preserve that. I don't know if there's much more into it, but I think the last time James talked about it, it was definitely a lot creepier than that. I know, exactly. I feel a bit disappointed. I feel like I'm wasting your guys' time just by listening to this fuckwit, but I'm going to have to muscle through it for a bit.
Coming from, okay. Similar place to Mussolini, similar place to the Big H, okay. The implementation of science to make things run more smoothly, okay. In public policy and also in one's private life, people should be implementing science and technology wherever they can. I support DARPA, okay? People might not know what DARPA is. As far as I'm concerned, some of the only legitimate agencies in the United States government are things like DARPA, and the National Institute of Health and things of that nature.
Oh boy, that's a fucking rabbit hole and a half that he just mentioned. That's fantastic. Isn't it very weird that he supports particular agencies that are well known for a lot of really particular human travesties throughout the years? It's like,
that are.
How do we donate? I don't have a donate option currently because PayPal's been trying to nuke me anytime I have a payment platform. I don't know what's been going on, but yeah, it's weird. When I actually get the chance to fucking fix it, I'll definitely put it back up for you guys to do it. But for now, it's not that big of a deal. The money's not important. We'll fix that later.
Putting forth effort to transform reality as we understand it. DARPA was responsible for the internet. Everybody wants to talk about how evil DARPA is, and how evil the military is, and how evil this is, and how evil that is.
When it comes to things like basic privacy and freedom, DARPA has been an absolute travesty towards the American populace, so that is a genuine argument.
If it wasn't for DARPA, and it wasn't for the military, we wouldn't be talking to each other on the internet right now. You wouldn't have these idiotic shows that are making a mint on my videos, you know, re-uploading my videos and picking apart what I say. That wouldn't exist without DARPA. So the military is not evil.
It doesn't change the fact that there's a lot of CIA glow-in-the-darks and shit tactics that happen against your basic freedoms every day, because you know, it's almost like those same government agencies regretted the internet because of how much power it gave the average person. You dumb fuck.
DARPA is not evil. It leads to cutting-edge research, which leads to cutting-edge breakthroughs in medicine.
What does this have to do with Epstein and his island, James?
A lot of these things, they translate right over to better the lives of U.S. and global civilians. They basically help the civilians of the world by the implementation of the technologies discovered by DARPA. Now, what people like Kurzweil and Epstein, now I want to be very, very clear, Epstein had, as far as I know, had no connection to Ray Kurzweil. But what I'm saying is, people like Ray Kurzweil and people like Epstein have used their money to fund important research. Kurzweil more so, because Kurzweil has interests that are more toward...
That doesn't change anything that Epstein has done, you stupid fuck. What he's gonna say next, Al Capone was a good man because he ran soup kitchens. That's kind of what, I guess that's kind of what he's saying, you know? It's like when people said Stalin was an okay guy because he didn't outright kill the gays, he just sent them to concentration camps.
Helping humanity. Kurzweil is like a great visionary that wants to save humanity with the use of technology. He is a true benevolent transhumanist, I believe. Epstein is more of just a transhumanist, but he still had the goals of saving humanity from it.
Hey guys, you know, Epstein likes to touch kids and got involved in human trafficking for decades and did horrible shit in the world that everyone has to fix now ad nauseum, and has exposed absolute corruption in the governments around the world who refuse to handle the conversation well. Anytime corruption's brought up, yeah, guys, he's totally good guy. Fuck you.
Itself, its own idiocy, its own implosion upon itself through its own stupidity. And that's why I think it's highly important that people understand this. I believe that Kurzweil and Epstein were probably believers in the Jewish version of cosmotheism. Cosmotheism, of course, is Dr. Pierce's religion, but there was a Jewish, it was created by a chemistry professor in Israel. There's a Jewish version of that called cosmodeism. Now, one of the primary differences is in cosmotheism. In cosmotheism, we're transcending, humanity transcends to become God. In cosmodeism, you're giving God consciousness through...
No one cares, Creed.
Creating a artificial intelligence type thing.
Cry me a river, you rock spider bitch.
Whereas, as I said, in cosmotheism, it is humanity which gives God consciousness. It gives the Creator consciousness through its existence, through humanity's existence. In cosmodeism, they are creating a vessel to give God consciousness through this type of...
So we went from Epstein to transhumanism to this. God, this fucking hurts my head. I'll be glad when this is over in the next minute or so.
Cloud type, artificial intelligence type thing where there's a universal mind, so to say. It's very Chardinian in many ways. But my point, like the new sphere, my point is that you that everybody needs to start to understand what transhumanism is, because if this species is to have a future, it will be embracing
He goes, sing us the song of your people, James.
Humanism. Not necessarily transhumanism, but post-humanism.
Kaz will fear me once his channel is gone from Scare the Wolf. Even if my channel is gone, I would just make a new one, and then things will be fine. I don't care. I really don't give a shit. Try your little Fagula flagging game. See what happens.
Humanity will either evolve, or it will cease to exist. Like Nietzsche said, you can either become the Übermensch, or you can become the Untermensch. And humanity is slowly, and actually in some cases, like in the West, drastically leaping off the cliff above the abyss, going down into the abyss of the Untermenschen. Okay? So, one must...
Great, now we're going to, like, Friedrich Nietzsche territory. Because somehow that's something to do with child fucking. Oh my god.
Understand that if we are to become the Übermensch, we must embrace these technologies, we must embrace these outlooks that are so greatly seen as elitist when they're not. There's not
worse. I feel like he's sort of embracing his creepy side now that he knows the jig's up. So you're seeing these videos where he's justifying this now because he knows the jig is up for him. He knows he can't lie about it anymore. He knows there's not much chance he can to lie about it in the first place, so there you go, guys. It explains everything. It explains so much. In a strange way. I mean, like, if you take everything he says in face value, there's nothing to gain from this, but to me, someone who likes to play a little bit of psychology every once in a while for the fuck of it, you can clearly tell that he's just blabbering on because he's sidestepping, and it's kind of an admission of, in my opinion, it's a admission of fault here. Like, he knows he's fucked. So now he's going to justify people like Epstein, because at this point he's like, well, if Epstein gives me what I want, the world can't rant about me for wanting underage 15-year-old Aliana. You see the point. A lot of it really boils down to, I think he's kind of starting to embrace his fucked up side of himself, because apparently it's the only way he gets to now rationalize what he's been exposed with. So take that for what you will. It says, oh shit, did I miss out on the stream? The stream's still going. I don't know what you're talking about. I love when people start pointing out his narcissistic tendencies and he immediately starts posting videos on the subject implying that he is in fact the victim of one. Yeah, no, the problem with narcissists like him is that he's going to always try to portray himself as the victim no matter what. And strangely enough, that's a fantastic segue to another person we're to be talking about. A certain person that you guys heard about plenty of times before, known as Adrasdea. Now, you may be asking, Kaz, why the fuck are you talking about Adrasdea? Well, it's actually because I never got my chance to talk about them, and recent news has allowed me to do exactly that. Now, I'm not here. He is transcending his pedophilia, I guess so. Adrasdea had some interesting news going on for her, and I figured it would be a fantastic time to get my feet wet on the subject. So, I figured at this point, I would love to talk about Adrasdea, or Mary, rather, is kind of what I was going to go for. In some recent news, apparently, Adrastea's got herself into a lot of problems, even though apparently this happened a year before. And of course, if you want some more lore about Adrasdea and her crazy, antics, that I can't talk about on stream, because if I have to, if I have to talk about her for that long, we would be here for like 20 streams within this span of a week, and I'm not doing that. So if you want to really know the lore of Adrasdea, if you don't know anything about her, I would recommend supporting AP's content. AP has made a pretty decent list of documentary timeline videos on her. From the moment that people knew about her, which was unfortunately due to a murder, a suspected situation where she was partly, from knowledge persists, partly somewhat involved in the murder of Robert Law. I cannot say whether or not she is in fact complicit in the crime, but there's been a lot of issues around that, and I'm not getting into that, but it is a very interesting story to look into if you're into that. So we're gonna go for watching one of her recent videos about a fiasco. And this one is pretty interesting. So All these people are insane. That's exactly the point of horror cows, my good friend. We are going for insane people. So let me go look at this real quick. Okay, should be working. There we go. It's not acting retarded for the moment. Thank God. Let's go. The video in question is called "A Child Using an Adult Website Solicited Naked Photos from Me and Now is Framing Me for Pedophilia." Interesting. Okay, so that's a giant yikes already. That draws so many fucking questions. Okay, let's just get into it. Fuck, what is this shit?
Okay, so now they have changed the story and they're saying that it's not pictures of me at 13 that are being sent out. It's pictures of me that I sent to a 14-year-old. So what happened was last year I use a site called Recolor Me. It's a forum. It's an anime forum. It's not for children. The site was never intended to be for children. I believe there's even a disclaimer that you're supposed to be at least 13 or 14 to use the forums.
Okay, Adrasdea. Mary is your name, correct? I'm going to use Mary because I prefer the simpler names, so I'm going to use your name.
Unless you're lying about your age.
No disrespect if that's not something you want, but, you know, whatever. The case is, Mary, you need to understand this. When a website is really for adults, and it's primarily for adults, as you said it claim it to be, the age requirement to join that website is 18. Now, that doesn't change the fact that some kid is going to mess with some stuff and get inside anyway, because these websites cannot prevent a kid from joining anyway. It's more of a legal liability in the event that something happens. It's not their problem, it's yours. Now, the question I have to ask, Mary, is did you try to vet this person before you send your nudes to them? And why are you doing it on a website like Recolor Me? I looked into it. It's more like a family website. It's like what was that one website? It's like gotcha shit. It's like those website gotcha stuff. It's like Gaia Online. That's where I'm going for. It's like a forum version of Gaia Online with like all these like gotcha characters that you can like draw and shit or like color. The problem with this is that you're saying it's an adult website, but it clearly looks like at least it's for teenagers. So it doesn't seem like, especially since it's basically, you said it's how old?
At least 13 or 14.
At least 13 to 14. So it's not an adult website in the way you think it is. I'm sorry to be the bringer of bad news, Mary, but if you really wanted to sell your nudes to people legally, you probably should have just done it on OnlyFans. Just saying, not that I would want to see your crusty ass or anything, but I'm just pointing out that why are you using it on a website like Color Me?
To use the forums, unless you're lying about your age.
Okay, did you vet the kid? Did you vet this person before saying this? Like, what's the problem here?
It's not a site for children, and there are a lot of adult
bullshit. You can literally check their disclaimer that it's for people around 13 to 14 at the very least. So that's bullshit.
On it that have been on it since it started, and I'm one of them. I'm not the only one. There's a lot of adults on that site. It is a site for adults.
Are you sure about that?
It is not a children's website. That's what y'all are saying. I saw one comment saying, well, it was a coloring book site. Of course children are going to be there. No, Recolor Me is not a coloring.
Explain their legal disclaimer that they said that you have to be at the very least 13 to 14 years of age to join it. Now, the same could be said for YouTube, but like most of these websites, they're probably restricted towards that their audience is a family, not adult content. So that doesn't make any sense. Sorry, I know I think she's trying to pull like semantics, as someone's mentioned in the chat. She's trying to pull Lance. Exactly. She's trying to pull semantics in front of her ass, in front of everyone.
Book. It's named that because you can shift the colors on your avatar's clothes.
Yeah, it's a dumb website where you get to like customize stupid avatars for people's characters and shit, and it's a known hotbed for like role plays and shit. That's probably kid material content. Okay, I'm just being honest. All right, most of it is probably for kids, and even if that wasn't the case, why did you send that content to a 15-year-old, 14-year-old anyway? Did you not vet that shit?
It's not a coloring book. It's not a children's site.
Oh my god, she's dumb.
Last year, in desperation for some money, I sold a photograph of my breasts on that site. I didn't on that site. For some money, I sold a photograph of my breasts on that site. I did not seek out somebody to buy this photograph. They messaged me, right? Like, I signed on to Recolor one day and I had a private message, and the private message was offering me $50.
Wait, she's turning 37 in February. Holy shit.
For naked photographs. I didn't ask any questions. I didn't ask how old they were. I didn't ask who they were.
Oh.
I was desperate.
Oh, see, that's the problem. You didn't vet the person you're talking to. Jeez, it's almost like that would have gotten you in trouble. You dumb bitch. Oh, she's not gonna see the light of day. No, she's not. Oh my fucking god.
Desperate for some money, and I was willing to take photographs for it. As an adult, as a 35-year-old woman, I was willing to take photographs of my breasts for money.
She's dumb, but her dishonesty and delusions are the bigger issue. I completely agree with you. That's exactly what I'll get into in a minute. But so, so she. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm just. My brain is fried at this point. Holy shit. God.
I took one photograph and sent it to them. They never paid me, and I realized that it was a scam. And I didn't send them any more pictures because they didn't pay me for the first one. They didn't tell me how old...
Whoa. You sent them more than one picture? You sent them more than one picture. You sent them more than one picture. I'm sorry. What? You sent them more than one picture. You dumb bitch.
They were. And I'm only finding out today that that person was underage, and that person has now sold the picture, and they're saying that they're going to put me in prison. It's a pedophile because I took it and I sent it to this person and he was underage.
Well, I mean, it is illegal if you're talking to an actual minor, and you know it turns out that like you're sending them nudes. That is illegal. So I mean, they're not wrong.
Or she was underage and all this, and I had absolutely no way of...
Well, she just mentioned that she sent this person pictures twice. So the question has to be, did you send them 2 times before they told you, or did you send one? They said, hey, this is wrong. I'm a kid. And then, like, she sent it again? Is that what happened?
Knowing how old they were. I was not intentionally sending naked photographs to children. I was selling photographs of myself to anybody with money, and I didn't think that children had money to be buying things like that. I never expected a child to message me offering me money for naked photographs. Never, ever, ever, ever have I expected a child to do that. I expect adults to do that.
She'll do stuff for weed. Well, I don't disbelieve that. It's just, imagine how stupid you have to be to send it to a kid, though. God, my...
I have never met a child in my life that was randomly messaging people online and asking them for naked photographs and for him to pay them. I've never met a 14-year-old in my life that had the money to pay for those types of pictures. Why would I have assumed he was a child? Why would I have assumed I was doing something wrong?
Because it's up to you on the internet to be careful about who you're talking to. You dumb bitch. There's a reason why if you're getting involved in sexual stuff that people go, hey, you gotta tell me your age, your sex, location, whatever. Right? Whatever you call it. The problem with this shit is that this shit's illegal, and the fact that you said you've done it twice is really... Allegedly, she thinks the person is 14. Someone told her it is a recent YouTube comment. Regardless of the person is, she should have vetted them at the time this went down. Exactly. That's exactly the issue, is that she should have done that. Blames the child. Yeah. No, this is something about Adrasdea that annoys me, in the same way that I get annoyed with James, with these a lot of horror cow spurglets do. They always love to play victim. They always do this. They can't just, like, sit for 5 minutes and go, maybe this is a bad idea.
By being an adult, taking pictures of my breasts for money. I didn't do anything wrong. As soon as the photos are released, I guess I can get the information about who it was that really got it and go to the police and let them know that this 14-year-old is online pretending to be an adult and buying these types of photographs from women and then using them to hurt them later because he was not old enough to buy the photograph. And so obviously the woman who needed money should be punished.
That's because at the end of the day, you're still an adult and you should have vetted for that, you stupid idiot. Alright, let's go look at her other videos, because she goes crazier and crazier off on this. But yeah, you notice how she'll never take blame. She'll never just accept the fact that she screwed up. Let me go look around for other videos. There's like a bunch of videos, but this one I think is the funnier one, because she has a meltdown, and I'm gonna focus on the meltdowns, obviously. But she's making like overly dozens of videos in the past week or two. I won't say week or two, but days about this. It's crazy how much video she makes. Instead of just, I don't know, getting a job or something.
I need help. I'm in full panic mode. I can't fucking think. I can't breathe. I can't function. I need $5 to go and get some weed.
She's... Hello, officer. Exposing myself to fire. Please arrest this kid for something. Says AP. Yeah, that's what she's doing. The amount of narcissism coming from her is baffling as fuck, dude. God, I live for this autism. It's great. Ugh, this shit's amazing. I fucking love AP's comment, too. That was fucking spot on. Guys, I need $5 for some weed. I need him $5. I got mad and I got entrapped by a child. Bill, that's a child. You know what that means, Bill? No, don't. You're going to the police.
Otherwise, I'm just gonna sit here and hurt myself waiting for the police to come and take me away for the rest of my life for being entrapped by a child, for having a child ask me for those photographs. I didn't send them for no reason. I didn't send them trying to be in a relationship with a child. They asked me, they said they were gonna pay me for that. For over a year. For over a year, they messaged me wanting these photographs, offering me money. I didn't even want to be in a relationship with them. I didn't want to have anything to do with them. I just needed the money.
Oh god, I gotta love those crocodile tears. I love those crocodile tears. Holy shit. Gotta love those crocodile tears. Also, for some reason it's made me go to Rogue Internet, man, which by the way, I'll go watch that later. I like watching this content sometimes. So, hell yeah. Okay.
old, you're out harassing homeless. Where are the police?
The police? Oh boy.
Where are the
I feel like she's just challenging the cops to come after her location. What the fuck is this? I love that she confesses on video too. She's like, guys, I'm in trouble. I need to confess my sins on the internet.
Where are the police?
Where are the police?
Where are they? I've been waiting all afternoon. I've been scared and crying and throwing up and waiting and waiting and waiting, and they never show up.
Never show up. Oh no. You know, it's almost like, you know, a couple things. Either the police haven't done something with a report yet, or they're just biding their time waiting for you to do something stupid. Who knows? AP goes, unquote, I didn't want to be in a relationship with a child. I simply want to expose myself to him. So it's cool, right? Unquote. The problem, she brought up the relationship part. And I thought that was weird because, like, no one's said anything about relationship. Just that she sent nudes to a kid for money. So, like, the whole idea that, like, she brought up the relationship part seems a little bit creepy to me. Because it's just out of nowhere.
They never show up. I keep hearing sirens, but then there's never...
That gotta be a termination.
I knock on the door. They never show up. When are they gonna show up? What is happening? Y'all have already told me, you've reported me 30 times, 30 different of you reported me for the pedophilia, so where are they? Where?
God. Actually, real quick, can anyone confirm with me that, like, people actually reported her to the police about this?
Where are the police? Where are the authorities? Why am I still sitting here crying and waiting to be arrested for a crime that I didn't even really know I was committing? I'm gonna spend the rest of my life in prison as a pedophile. But I'm gonna fight to make sure that whoever it was that set me up also spends the rest of their life labeled as a sexual predator. At 14 years old, you're out harassing homeless women. 14 years old.
14 years old?
What 14-year-old is looking at homeless women and offering homeless women money using...
Okay, before you get into that train of thought, Mary, I want to ask you a question. What the hell are you doing on a kid's website offering $50 for your like crusty ass tits? This whole like questioning someone and trying to pin them down on something could also apply to you, you stupid cunt.
Their wealth to manipulate homeless women, homeless mentally ill women.
The whole I'm mentally ill, so you can't say or do anything to me at all excuse. Sounds like you're weaponizing your own problems, Miss Mary. Really mature of you. Really mature.
For over a year on that site, they messaged me, they knew my situation, they knew I was homeless, they knew I was schizophrenic, they knew all of that, and then they waited and waited until I was desperate. And then they offered me so much money. And I sent them a single picture of my breast because they offered me so much money, and the money never arrived, so I never sent any more pictures. I didn't receive any in return. I didn't ask for any in return. It was never any kind of a relationship.
Why do you keep bringing up about a relationship? What the fuck is
woman
this?
that needed money. And a 14-year-old child took advantage of that.
Lost Tessa Scooby 31 says, I'll pay your $50 to never show them again.
And he said he trapped me and he's wanting to be in prison for the rest of my life because he entrapped me, and how can that not be considered a sexual predator? Anybody of any age that's going out and seeking...
Well, I mean, to be fair, there is a few questions I do have to say to you, Mary, because chances are I know that when people stream about you, you are watching. So, let me ask this question to you, right? I've heard about the fact that you were complicit in a creepy pedophile, that you drove all the way to some girl's location, underage girl, like practically every night or something like that. Maybe the reason why people think you're a predator isn't just because you sent nudes. It's also because you've been clearly complicit in your former lovers' lives, where apparently a lot of them were pedophiles. And you were okay with it until it wasn't convenient to be okay with them no more. I wonder, why is that? Why is that? I would love to know. Why is that?
Seeking out the homeless and offering them money for sexual acts and then...
Well, okay, again, another problem with this logic is entrapment usually means, okay, so let's say during the whole EDP drama, when Chet Goldstein and his crew went after EDP, you can argue that's entrapment because of the way in which they did the whole exposing him, which they went after him, EDP, and they were the ones doing the whole, look, I'm like a 15 years old, hee beta count shit, right to EDP. So that could be considered entrapment, but in the case of Adrasdea, this doesn't make any sense because she doesn't specify who instigated this conversation. Was this the supposed minor, or was this her? Because if it was the minor, you can argue theoretically that it is entrapment. But if it's the other way around, and that you knew that they were like of a certain age and you sent pics anyway, or you did this because you listed out a public service, it's like saying like, hello, I'm selling nudes and shit, which is what, you know, shady websites do that all the time. People do that. Then that probably wouldn't really follow per se under entrapment. And even if that was the case, that still doesn't change the fact that you openly sold your services to a child before thinking about it. So again, that's a you problem, Mary. That's no one else. And maybe if you really want to help yourself, you should, like, you know, maybe you should, like, I don't know, go to a mental institution. Maybe you should go to a police station and just be like, you know, give up, partner. Just give yourself to the cops. You know, so that they can handle this, and you won't have to worry about this anymore. It's really that simple.
And threatening to put them in prison for the rest of their life for performing those sexual acts. That's a predator.
What?
That's a predator.
Well, I know your boyfriends tend to be predators. Why is it that your boyfriends get a pass in your mind? But like someone maybe calling you out for your shitty practices on selling your nudes on a child's website, they're the predators? They're the predators for exposing that. Interesting. An interesting logic, woman. Also, thank you for the subscribe, whoever you are. Don't know why my alerts are not working properly tonight, but thank you for the subscribe.
I was entrapped by a predator, and now I'm going to go to prison for the rest of my life, but I swear to you that I will make
Hello there, fun and reviews.
sure that whoever this is, whether it's a girl or a
Well, see, that's the thing, Dan. She excuses her exes all the time.
boy, they will spend the rest of their lives as a sexual predator. I will fight. I will fight to make sure that that 14-year-old is known as a sexual predator for the rest of their life, because that's what they are, going after homeless, mentally ill people and offering them money for things that they're gonna put them in jail for.
Oh my fucking god! What the fuck is this, dude? What the fuck is this? Holy shit. I have a feeling she's admitting to a lesser crime to cover what she did. Well, it's the same thing with James. I would not be surprised if both her and James's crimes are a lot more explicit in nature, and that there's definitely something going on. How old are her exes? I don't remember specifically, but I know they're like, a lot of them are old. She goes, okay. So she makes videos calls, it never crossed my mind a child would do this. My life is over, but so it's the sexual predator that ruined my life. Okay, what's this? What is this fucking nonsense? Okay, what is this? Alright, so now she reveals the conversation that she had. Oh my god. She just buries herself, dude. The chat that ruined my life. That's an interesting video title. Fucking me. Oh god, alright. Oh, what is this shit? Let me read this. Don't let anyone get you upset. I hope everything is better for you. Nobody knows. The struggle about being homeless unless you were homeless before. Ignore the negative comments. Don't pay them any mind or perspective. Okay?
Okay, let me turn the camera off because it's...
Well, dumb bitch, how am I supposed to read the fucking... How am I supposed to read the messages?
dark and y'all aren't gonna see shit anyway.
Oh, fucking God.
Right, so... I finally got
Thank you, Shadow World Order, just subscribing. Thank you.
Adrasdea account on Recolor. And I found the full conversation.
Okay, show us.
That I had with this person. NetX1 was the name that they were using. Started 29 months ago, so this was
29 months ago.
2.5 years.
So this shit's been going on for over 2.5 years. And like now it's a problem. I'm confused. I am genuinely confused right now, chat. I have no idea what the fuck. Like, okay. Like, so this has been going on for 2 years, and you're still talking about this?
Ago that this began.
Any lore masters about Adrasdea, feel free to correct me about the timeline of this, because now I'm just fucking confused.
I was still homeless at the time. They instigated the conversation completely. They sent the first message. And they said, don't let anyone get you upset. I hope everything gets better for you. Nobody knows the struggles about being homeless unless you were homeless before. Ignore the negative comments. Don't pay them any mind or perspective.
Okay, so you're claiming that this person instigated the conversation. Okay, well, you got 1 point there. When it comes to potential entrapment laws, I mean, it still doesn't entirely, enact it, but let's go.
Now,
also, by the way, I'm not a legal expert, so I'm just saying that, like, in terms of, like, pred hunting when it comes to entrapment laws, there is a bit of skirting around it, but, like, I don't know. She still should have asked his age. Exactly. I agree with you.
Some people on my YouTube are saying that
yes,
this is very clearly a child. I should have been aware that this is a child messaging me, but this is not, to me...
Look at that account. You honestly think that's not a child?
They are a child. And you might say, well, what about their profile? There's nothing there. There is nothing...
I still wouldn't trust it.
...to show to me that this person is much, much younger than I am. I replied, I try, but it really does get to me sometimes because online is my only support.
Why does your avatar look like a swamp rat trying to emerge from the shit sewer? What the fuck is this? Let me go read this. I try, but it really gets into me sometimes, because online is my only support system I get recently. Found a real-life friend literally less than a month ago. The last 5 years I've been homeless. This site has been all I've had for emotional support and financial support.
System. I only recently...
Have you ever considered getting a fucking job?
Recently found a real-life friend literally less than a month ago. The last...
What website was it? It was called Recolor Me. And there's actually the URL link for it right there in her in their video. So from what I can tell, it's a website that allows people from like 14, 15, 13-ish and onwards to join. So I wouldn't call it an adult website, despite what she claims. So there you go.
5 years that I've been homeless, this site has been all I've had for emotional and financial support.
Yeah, like the person that was talking to her doesn't look like they had proper punctuation, but she doesn't have either.
Okay, so let's let that truck pass. Letting the truck pass. I'm sorry. Okay, so again, this is 2.5 years ago. This is before COVID. This is apparently just after I met my friend in the Navy. This is before he even gave me the truck, because he didn't give me the truck for a couple of months after we met up again.
Jobs are for people at work. Duh.
I have no idea how I was supposed to be able to tell that this kind-hearted person was actually 14 years old.
Hello there, MC Tiny.
So they
thanks
responded.
Thanks for subscribing.
Still 29 months ago. This is still 2 years ago. People here support you, and losers you just talk shit about you for being homeless like it was your choice, and nothing about economics and how life works. Just don't let it get to your head. The people with morals know you're going through a tough time, and fuck the wannabe edgy degenerates. Again, I'm not sensing that this is a child that I'm speaking to. They're talking about people with morals and shit.
Oh, God.
So then...
Adrasdea, please, for the love of God, stop talking about the fact that you don't have morals. Shut up. Just shut your mouth.
27 months ago, 2 months after they started this conversation with me, which I had stopped responding to.
Wait, so he goes from send nudes for some money, how fat your tits. She goes, still willing to pay for pics. Okay, so the problem with this is that in this conversation, she's saying still willing to pay for pics. The reason why that her argument about whether or not this guy initiated doesn't make any sense is because right here it's explained that that she had this conversation with him before this, meaning that at some point maybe she might have offered or he might have offered. I don't know. I cannot say for certain. But the fact that she says this shit right here already proves the point that this is not the first time she said this right here. So the argument of whether or not this guy, this kid, whoever he was the instigator, I'm a bit concerned about the logic because that doesn't sound like that's the case. That's just me though.
2 months after they asked send news for some money, I didn't respond.
I didn't respond. Still willing to pay for pics, which you clearly didn't respond. Bullshit. Bull fucking shit. Bull fucking shit. Explain what the fuck you were saying right there. We're going still willing to pay for pics. So, did you try to sell him nudes the first time? Exactly. Anyone would have seen how sketchy that was in Bounce. It's a coloring, but it is. It's for kids.
17 months. That would be a year after. Yeah. About a year later, they messaged me and said, "How fat are your tits?" Finally, I responded 16 months ago and said, "Are you still willing to pay for pics?" They said yes if you've got fat tits. So, need you to answer quicker.
Yeah, if you fat tits. I'm sorry, was that a spelling error on their part? Yeah, if you've fat tits.
Willing to pay for pics. They said yes if you've got fat tits. So, need you to answer quicker.
So, you'd answer quicker.
15 months ago. It took 3
days for you to respond, but you needed to answer me quick. No thanks, I already regretted offering. Oh wait, okay, so again, another establishment of the fact that they've had this conversation before. She goes, "No thanks, I regretted offering." This meant that you offered the pics in the first place. You stupid fucking bitch. That doesn't sound like he instigated the conversation. It sounds exactly like you did. And this is omission. That you instigated this, you stupid fucking bitch. Holy fuck.
3 days for you to respond, but you need me to answer quick. No thanks, I already regret offering. Him. I don't use this site that much. It took 50 days and I'll give you $50 if you do it. My fault for rushing you. So, they're saying that they have money, like a lot of money, which, in my experience, a child would not have.
Have you seen the dumb shit kids do to, like, read their parents' credit card for money? I'm sorry, like, oh my god. Like, chat, have you ever had an experience where, like, you wanted something online or some shit? Or, like, you were probably, like, a lot younger, before the internet was a thing, and you decided to go, hey, I want to buy something. I'm gonna pocket a little out of my mom's purse, right? I'm sure most kids had that experience where they wanted to do that, or they worked for it from their parents. Maybe they have their own credit card at a relatively young age. It's not impossible. I'm sorry, this is dumb. You are absolutely retarded, Mary.
It's my fault for coming at you like that. You still want the money? Here they're very pushy and arrogant and manipulative.
Well, if that's the case, all you could do is block them.
Trying to draw me back.
Don't engage in the conversation. Get rid of them. Block them. Delete the convo. Be done and over with.
Because I had pulled back on the offer after they became kind of aggressive. And so, send your Cash App or PayPal. Finally, I responded, PayPal me /Adrasdea and give me an email to send the pics. They asked you Snapchat, and I said no.
There you go. You just buried yourself right then and there. You just buried yourself right then and there. You did. This is entirely your fault, Adrasdea. Mary, this is entirely your fucking fault. All you had to do, if this was really such a concern, that you were scared, you just delete shit and move on. There was nothing literally physically preventing you from just blocking this person and moving on with your day. But since you capitulate to their demands, it's your fault. It's your fault.
I said I won't send them anyway but email. They're not worth anything anyway. He said, what's your email then? He said, you've got to show me how fat your tits are and I'll give you $60. Here's my email. And I responded, I sent one pic to them. I'll send more once I get the money. They responded, do you have fat ass? And I said, I'm not sending anything else without payment. They asked, I'm asking you a question. I said, no.
Hide the pickle. God damn, that's awful.
Send me a picture of your ass and you'll get the money. I need to see.
No.
And I said, and you're obviously not going to pay to find out. And he said, yes, I am going to pay. Request it to my PayPal. And this is where I realized that they were not actually going to pay me for the picture that I took. And I went into complete panic freak-out mode, which is always fun, merry time. And I responded, it's fucked up to use a homeless person, but that's why I only sent one pic. I knew you were full of shit. The fact that I'm hungry enough to actually attempt this is fucked up. This day I was needing food. That's why I was giving him the pictures.
Mary, no. Wait a minute,
He
Mary,
said,
no.
Why would I scam you? I said, I'm not sending you a request. I gave you my PayPal. PayPal me /Adrasdea. There's no need for me to try to find you and possibly request from someone else. Now, what I meant by that was, if he had given me...
you could solve this if you just decide to block the fucker and move on. You created this fucking situation, Adrasdea. What the fuck is wrong with you?
A fake email, like, if I'm just sending a request to somebody... I don't know who I'm asking, who I'm really asking the money from. They could have just sent me some stranger's PayPal and was like, here, request money from this person.
Oh,
and
fucking hell.
I don't feel comfortable doing that. If you're going to send me money, you need to send it to me. I'm not going to request it unless I know.
Yes, Minuteman, I am at DEF CON 1 with this nonsense already. Holy shit.
That it is your account that I'm requesting it from.
Oh my god.
I don't do that because I don't feel comfortable doing that because I don't want to be...
Then don't do it!
People who don't even...
Just block and move on!
Who don't even know what's going on. If this person has, been online harassing people, who knows what they're doing? Who knows? That was a big ass rat, I'm sorry. Okay, he says, I'm not using you. I told you I'm going to send you money. And I said, why scam a homeless woman of her dignity? Because human beings are garbage. And he said, why would I scam you? I just want to see your ass. It doesn't matter if you're wearing clothes or not.
Oh my god.
And I said, you're not going to send anything. The next pic I said will be of me bleeding. I deserve to bleed for being stupid enough to think I'd get a single dollar from this. And they said, yes, I would have. I would have blocked you after you sent the first pic. I'll send the money. You're bugging and taking shit too seriously. I said, no, because you want more free pics. Pay for the first pic. And then I just kept repeating my PayPal. And that is the end of the chat. After I put up my PayPal this many times, telling him to pay for the picture he received, I understood that it was a scam, and I reported it to the mods, and I made a thread letting other people on the
You
forum
reported this to the
be
mods.
aware
Oh my
that
god.
there was a person scamming naked photos from people. And I made them aware of that because I was aware that there...
Guys, mods, I got scammed by a child for, like, sending them nudes. Like, holy shit. I'm like 36? Holy shit. Oh, I bet you that would have been an awful day for any mod that had to deal with that. It's like, you just enlisted illegal services on a child website. Oh my fucking god.
There were some children on the site, and I didn't want a child to be scammed of naked photos. I didn't realize that it was a child that was scamming me. So they got the one photo, and that's the one that they're now saying they're going to put me in jail for sending. It's just a photo of my breasts. They actually...
It doesn't matter. You actively gave a photo of your tits to a minor, so it really doesn't matter what your argument is. You've actively done this, despite that you, from the conversation, were kind of aware of this, and you decided to go and do it anyway.
Really looked nicer back then because I've lost weight now. Regardless, when I told y'all that this person had been stalking me and that they had...
Why did you talk to them in the first place then?
They instigated the conversation. They asked. They did not portray themselves to be a manipulator or a child, which apparently they were both. I was not lying when I told y'all that I felt like they manipulated me into getting that picture so that they could...
No. They were trying to get something out of you, I guess, but you were the one who still fell through with the idea in the first place. If you knew that this person was a child, because it didn't really come up that they were a kid in this conversation, so if you were really having concerns with talking to this person about the whole thing in the first place, all you had to do was block them and move on. That's all you had to do. That is all that was required of you in the first place. You could have saved yourself so much right now if you decided to just block them and move the fuck on. But no, you had to make... Anyway, let's skip to more videos from her before we end the conversation about her, because, wow. There's only so much autism I could take before Spurgin. So I'm gonna just, go ahead and start making some, looking some stuff. Because she's crying again.
To be able to... Intent matters.
Oh, it matters.
When this goes to court, the judge will actually be allowed to look at that chat log and see for himself that I was not intentionally seeking out a child to sell a photo.
It doesn't matter if you're going out of your way to send those pictures in the first place.
I was not intentionally looking for a child to conversate with.
Oh my god.
There was no intent on my part to do anything towards a child. I was being manipulated.
You could have just blocked them.
Being led to believe that this person was going to pay me.
Okay, so that's a problem. If you knew they were a child, or at least you had an idea, you probably should just not talk to them.
For photographs of myself. I was pressured.
Wait, she gets legal advice from old ladies on Facebook? Oh god, that explains way too much.
And even after I changed my mind and said I wasn't going to do it, he kept pushing me. If y'all are going to insist that I am a pedophile and I am a horrible danger to children,
I mean, what possesses you in the first place to think that that exchange was okay? That's the problem. Anyone could say you're a pedophile and they would be correct to say that, or that you would be uncomfortable with that concept. We also have, like, self-admitted times where, moments where you admitted that your boyfriends were pedophiles. And that they fucked kids. And that at the very least you drove one of them to an underage girl's house every fucking day. And you know what they did to that girl. So people can say you have a sense of complicity with with pedophilia, with pedophiles. And then you're totally normal and chalant with talking to a kid trading nudes. Like, I'm sorry to say it, but, like, there's a lot that people can infer on that. If your intentions was to never get involved with something this messy in the first place, then the simple thing you could have done to protect yourself was just simply not partake in this. Block them.
You have to be able to prove the intent. You have to be able to prove that I intended to harm a child. I intended to distribute pornography to a child. You cannot prove that I intended to do that because I didn't. It was not my intention. It was not my goal. My goal was simply to survive. I was homeless at the time. I needed money.
Oh no.
That day specifically, I was hungry.
You know what that could help to actually get you some money? It's called get a job. It's called get a fucking job.
I had no intention of hurting a child. Do I believe that my breast hurt that child? No, I don't. I do not believe that viewing a picture of a naked woman at 14 years old severely damages a child. Now, that doesn't mean that it's okay for women to get naked around them. But if your kid sneaks into your room and finds a Playboy, are you going to be trying to put dad in jail?
Crazy lunatic, I have no idea. She talks like she's above getting a job, honestly. Because I'm not the only person that's ever screamed at her about getting a job before. She just flat out doesn't want to do it. I assume that in actuality, she just flat out doesn't want to do anything for herself that would actually get her out of it.
Or exposing him? Or are you just going to kind of understand that he's growing up and it's normal to have an interest in the female body? It's not normal to go after grown adults and lie to them about money for photos.
And it's not normal for you to be kind of aware of that and still go through financial transactions relating to your nudes towards a minor in the first place. Big fucking yikes.
Photographs of the human body when you could easily see those online, but that's what happened to me.
She thinks she's too entitled to work. That's what it comes across like. Yeah.
Of giving anything to children. I had no intention of...
Then block people when they're offering something you can't feasibly do. And second of all, get a job.
Of going after a child. My only intention was to sell a photograph of my breasts, which people do.
To my knowledge, unless you're like her boyfriend at the time, like her boyfriends were people who did horrible shit to kids, and she was okay with it for a while. But when it comes to men in general, outside of that, she talks shit about like pedophiles and men. When it comes to men, but like strangely enough, in certain circumstances, she'll just overlook that. It's very interesting how easily complicit she is and shit. It starts to make certain cases about her in legal court in a long time ago revolving around a murder very suspicious. I will say that. I will not say anything for certain, obviously. I do not have solid proof. But it's an inkling, and a very interesting one of that.
Literally every day. There's a website dedicated to it. And I would be on OnlyFans if y'all would let me, but when I post to OnlyFans, my video is taken and spread around free.
Yeah, but if you make people pay for it, you still technically make money out of it anyway, so it probably would be legally safer than going out of your way to some shady fucking website to actively sell your nudes. With it, when those websites are not specifically designed for that.
So that nobody will...
That's exactly what I'm saying to Najini. She overlooks it when it benefits her.
Subscribe to me, so...
Hello, shout out Virgie. Hello there, Virgie. Support Virgie. As I pronounce it, Virgie. I'm awful for pronouncing names, so feel free to, correct me. Anyway. No.
I can't sell my tits to adults. And that doesn't...
Yeah, you can. It's called OnlyFans. Who cares?
I mean, I'm trying to sell them to kids. It's simply saying, y'all have blocked my legal revenue to sell to adults.
No one's blocked anything. Again, here's this fucking nonsense. She always has to blame everyone for her fucking problems. God. You dumb bitch.
I don't know what else I can say.
Bitch, you belong to the fucking streets. Get the fuck out of here with this nonsense. Like you have any fucking room to talk about shit and people. God damn.
I'm waiting to be arrested and plead my case.
Good luck with that.
Even though y'all don't think it matters.
Of course it doesn't, because you still went through it anyway. That's still going to probably be a charge or two.
I know that when it comes to the law, intent matters. And they will be able to...
Did intent matter exactly when your new fiance killed his own wife for you? Did intent really matter when you were there and conveniently let that event happen for about 5 or 4 weeks? 4 to 5 weeks. Before saying a damn thing about what happened to a woman with cerebral palsy? Did you even give a shit about intent there? No. Although I cannot legally claim any argument of complicity, woman, it's pretty fucking obvious. There was something suspicious about that whole event. It's pretty fucking obvious that you conveniently let shit happen. Fuck you. Fuck you and your... But my intent matters. It most certainly didn't matter for Rebecca Law. Your friend. You didn't give a fuck about Rebecca. So don't give me this fucking moral grandstanding about intent. You trash gutter piece of shit.
See that I had no intention of predatory behavior in that situation.
God, this shit annoys me. Yeah, I guess I'm in rare form today where I'm really fucking angry. A lot more than usual. So, damn. Not a good sign. Not a good sign, Mary. Not a good sign. Alright, okay. Now she's going to pull this crap. This will be like the final video I'll address from her, like, just for the moment. Crazy, look up Adonis Paul. Yeah, go look up Adonis Paul's videos about the timeline of events that this chick was involved in. You'll know what I'm talking about then. It's fucking crazy. Fucking...
They have now admitted that there is no evidence. They completely made it up. They fabricated the story of me sending my pictures to a 14-year-old. They do not know how old that person is. They concocted a lie to slander and defame me and harass and terrorize because they understand that I am schizoaffective and that I am extremely afraid of being imprisoned. They are admitting to the cyber harassment and
apparently asking for nudes now is cyber terrorism.
Now, what that's going to help, I don't know. But if a lawyer ever contacts me and wants to help me, I'll have this proof. Because cyber terrorism should be illegal.
Oh my god.
Cyber harassment of the mentally unwell.
Guys, gotta call the
level.
cyber police.
The defamation, the slander. And they knew the whole time that there was no police contacted, no evidence.
Okay, sorry, who told you this? Is this... Alright, okay. Give her the fangs. Okay, oh, look at here, you dumb piglet little bitch, alright? It's hard to take you seriously when you look like a rainbow barf color reject of Piglet from Winnie the fucking Pooh, talking about cyber terrorism. It's like some type of weird fucking modern day PSA and some weird shit. Like, look, okay, the problem with your argument is that you're just now making these accusations that this person wasn't this, you need more evidence. Like, and what have you. But you start accusing people of cyber terrorism. Now, I would like to know, how the fuck was any of that cyber terrorism? I don't know. Tell me. This is...
No
my brain hurts.
No crime.
No proof, no crime. Okay, can you prove that people didn't actually call the cops on you? No idea. Just saying. Having some receipts would help you a lot.
They simply wanted people to believe I was a pedophile. They wanted people to believe that so that people would hurt me. Because it is well known that pedophiles are disliked even by the worst criminals out there.
Yeah, no shit.
This kind of slander could literally have me killed in the street.
Didn't you admit it was real, though? Wasn't it that your whole I didn't know there was a child argument was trying to justify? Exactly. The problem with this argument is that she's admitted to the crime. So, isn't cyber terrorism?
And they knew
it's a roller coaster. Yes,
that they were saying it. That they had fabricated it themselves.
Yeah, no, I would love some proof on that. Absolutely love some proof on that. Anyway. So, I think that's it for me talking about Adrasdea. We're gonna talk about the last person, the last Spurglet, the last horror cow. And probably, if I'm gonna be real, probably the worst one. By a mile. So if you want to know more lore, people in here who may have not known much about Adrasdea and are just hearing about her because of me specifically talking about her, I would recommend Adonis Paul's documentary videos on Adrasdea. They're really good. They're really well done. They have a really, really good setup about the timeline of events. You can't miss it. It makes stuff very clear about what happened. So I would say go ahead and go watch those. Those are very important information. So do that if you can. Anyway, before we end this stream, we have one more Spurglet to talk about. One more creepy person. And it's probably going to be the worst of the bunch. And since anyone who's been around my channel for a while, you've heard me talk about them before. Yes, we're gonna talk about Hypnotist Sappho. There's been a lot of news about Hypnotist Sappho. I haven't really managed to talk about, sadly, for one reason or another. But there is some important beats that I do have to talk about for you to understand just how fucking depraved this bitch is. Like, after all the crazy shit that Mary has done and James has done, has paled in comparison. Compared to Hypnotist Sappho. So let me bring you some lore while I set things up for us to talk about. So who is Hypnotist Sappho? Or what I like to call Valerie is her name. So Valerie is a dog fucker. And was a self-admitted dog fucker since since last year. September of last year. It was like late mid-September. She was a quote hypnotherapist, which turned out to be a crock of shit from a person I know, a friend of the channel called Coyote Lovely, who managed to confront her and expose a lot of shit from her. If you want to watch more details about Valerie and her actions, I would recommend going to Coyote Lovely's videos and just watching what he's documented. Really good piece too. They really good timeline. Lots of interesting evidence, but there is a few things I want to touch on before we get onto other news about her. She's a dog banger. I think she what's the word I'm looking for? She's made a sort of like organization for dog fucking, but I don't think that's really gotten anywhere. I think that sort of disappeared after she got into serious trouble, so I don't remember if that's a thing for her still. No idea. And on top of it, she has groomed quite a few unfortunate minors that became convinced that they're into dogs because of her. She somehow manipulated tons of kids to think like this. Let me go show you this, because unfortunately the best not the best, or the worst thing that she did that got her into a lot of trouble was something that's kind of exposed still on TikTok. So we're gonna look at TikTok land. Not my best work, obviously. But I hope you guys prepare for this. This gets really ugly. She does something on the new Twitter feature called Twitter's doing like chats now, like voice chat rooms. This guy's talking about how dog fucking's wrong. Like, we all agree with that. Like, dog fucking's wrong. Get the fuck out of here with that. But this is what she did in a room full of minors on Discord, if I remember right. See, she did. This audio was from a Twitter call where she had intercourse with her dog live with minors listening.
Okay. I don't know what to say here. I'm making random noises. Okay. You're welcome.
She has been known to groom several creators on TikTok and convince them that what they feel is okay and what they feel is valid. I'm surprised I have to clarify that what they feel is not fucking normal.
Yeah, so that's kind of not the worst of it. There, I believe on Twitter, if you look her up enough, you'll find the even worse version of this. But I would rather take the quicker route because I don't want to torture you guys with this crazy nonsense. So she actively fucked her dog in a literal fucking call on fucking Twitter. Oh, she did that. Oh, that's so wrong. What the fuck's wrong with you? This is why we need father figures in our lives. I'm sorry. This is why people need to have dads. Oh my god, that's awful. Anyway, bro, it's awful. So she's done a lot of stuff. I would say that in terms of if there was a scale in terms of like how bad she was for the internet. I would say she was like Amos Yee levels of bad, where because of her actions, you got like this another giant surge of people becoming sick fucks, or at least admitting that they are, because they feel somehow comfortable when she says it. I don't know what got people into admitting or defending her, but that's yeah, she's pretty awful. Again, we'll talk about that more in detail, about specifics like that in a future video or something, because I am obviously not done with talking about Sappho. But there's recent news. Apparently Sappho has died. And before you say it, no, she didn't actually die. Her character did. Because Twitter is overly fucking dramatic. And they seem to think that it's a win if she gave up on her character or something. I don't get it. But let's just watch through this. Read through it. Sorry, Twitter. Oh, come on, Twitter. All right. Work. Can you work today? Twitter tab. From an account called Zoophile Tweets? Zoophile Struggle Tweets. Okay, sorry. Let me read that. He comes across like a fake death. It does. Alright, so Sappho has died. Here, a Sappho Hypnotist Valerie Sappho. Zoophile. Map. Yes, she's also a map. Not surprising there. Symbol. And cite your occupation for a time. I believe she had some psychiatric shit. I don't know. A lot of the lore is hard to follow. As of this day, for Earth, January 21st, 2021, Hypnotist Sappho is being put to rest. All accounts being disabled and will cease further contact on YouTube, Twitter, TikTok, VR chat, and other public platforms. This change is hard but important one to make, especially with people literally wanting to kill me, among other safety concerns. I mean, wanting to kill you is pretty based. As much as there is still a great will to combat the constant misinformation and people justifying literally hunting someone, this fight is not my fight. I'm going to remain in outpatient therapy and long-term psychotherapy for my issues. From this point forward, Sappho account out there acting as after this effective date can be considered a fake. Providing identity will be done with a PG key below. yeah, I got my. I'm sorry. Like my hopes were up too. My hopes were up too. Valerie had the Sappho, Succubus Sappho, Charforced, Mommy Dom, Pedophile, Zoophile, Furry, Troon, cult leader who groomed children into zoophilia, wannabe hypnotist fetishist who exploited his clients, which indeed they did, which is, I'm pretty sure that's a violation of social services. I'm pretty sure that's some type of violation there. Chairman of a federalist bestiality non-profit passed on January 22. January 22nd, Valerie was born. What the fuck? Wait, which Valerie was born on June 1st, 2021. What the fuck? What? She started as a regular in VR chat furry servers such as Furry Talk and Chill and Furred Hub, and became known for being extremely affectionate, touchy, lovely, and loving. And also, would be in June, she met two very influential people in her life and participated and practiced in hypnosis. It would be in June that she met, experiencing herself. She decided that she would want to help others feel the same amazing feelings she did being hypnotized, and talked into a soothing, lovely voice for the next couple of months, and it went fine. But in September of 2021, she decided to come out publicly as a zoophile. This led mass hate campaigns starting with VR chat gangs, but soon escalating exponentially with TikTok picking up the video, and then the wider internet for the next few months. Sappho pushed hard on Zoo's sexual activism. What is this shit? Oh, God. Ugh. I feel like someone's flatulating her dick too much. God. Okay, let me get back to my place on the reading. zoosexual activism and had ambitions of starting a non-profit for zoophile rights. This would not come to be, however, as in December, Sappho would come out as a map or minor attractive person, and with this life would be much more stressful. Recognizing that they were in a spiral, they told a mental health professional that these attractions and suicidal thoughts would had her sent on a psychiatric ward in the time where she learned that she had a major depressive disorder with psychotic symptoms, severe anxiety, and symptoms of borderline personality and paranoia disorders. Whoa, shit. Oh, I'm not surprised. She's a cocktail of fuck in the head, dude. Holy shit. Since then, she has been on a Sequel and Pixel, among other medications. Around after half a month after release from psychotic care, she would go on to remove herself from the internet. While they may always be seen as a symbol in the eyes of many supporters, her former work would end here. Well, that was quick. Hey, Valerie, what was that thing about you were going to win? Ha! Big fat that was. Now, a lot of this stuff that I'm reading is stuff that she announced herself on her Telegram, to my knowledge. So, for all I know, I personally wouldn't really believe it, just because, like, it's all dramatic nonsense. This idea that, like, she died because her character's no longer a thing. What is this, like, some Japanese anime where, like, it's super important that someone's fictional character dies? Like, guys, Big Boss died. Like, not the real Big Boss, just the idea of him. Like, God, it's such a big loss and travesty. Like, Valerie, have you been, like, watching too much anime? I'm saying, like, okay, look, the problem with this shit, obviously, is that I don't believe it, really. It's not impossible for her to come back and just, you know, go out of her way to just, you know, pretend with a new personality. Like, oh, look at guys, I got, like, this new account name, and she's probably gonna do the same shit again. The funny thing about Sappho is that, in the strange way, I do believe she's worse than the two people we talked about previously. Not only because of her list of crimes, but also the amount of damage her activism has caused to essentially the world as a whole, you know? The problem with this is that, obviously, what she left behind was a ton of children and crazy people, or people with mental issues, who believe that they want to touch dogs because she's convinced them of it. So just like Amos, now all of us have to be left to pick up her mess that she created. Even if she decided to go get therapy, I don't believe it remotely justifies anything she's done. She's a sick fuck. I honestly think she needs to go to prison, really. Or forever locked away in a mental asylum to never get outside in the public again. I'm going to be real about that. I don't believe she's really she's going to redeem herself. I probably bet some money you give it a couple of months and she'll be back under a different name, and people are going to figure out because she's not that smart, and people are going to know that. But it's the reason, and also about the Amos stuff. There's a video coming out about the Amos news. I know I'm like a couple of months late, but that's just me. But essentially, it's the same problem that I have with people like Amos, is where, like, they got away with so much shit, they caused so much damage, and now we have to deal with all of this nonsense. Especially people like me, who's constantly been after these sick fucks for like 2 fucking years at this point straight. I can guarantee you to say this: the truth about these sick fucks is the amount of damage they leave behind. Like, people don't talk about that. And now that you have even if Sappho's gone, it doesn't change the fact that now people have to deal with a castle cave of crazy fucks who want to touch kids and touch dogs because of her message. Because somehow she's convinced them that that's what they want with their lives. All the horrible shit she's done in between towards minors. Because, like, believe it or not, she was in frequent contact with minors. She has done stuff with minors. It's alleged that she had a relationship with one. Yes, that's alleged, by the way. I don't know if that's confirmed. I don't remember if it is, but there is plenty of screenshots showing a lot of suspicious evidence. This chick is a crazy bitch. She's done horrible shit. So I just give it some time, and I bet you she'll be back. That she will probably be back and start again once all the heat's down. I guarantee it. Now, if anything, I think the police should investigate her just to see what's in her computer. Just like I think they should do so for James and Mary. Because I'm guarantee you they have at least something suspicious in their computers at this point. I mean, that should be pretty obvious. But, yeah. There's also claims that apparently she's in VR chat with like the same username and the same fucking like avatar that she uses. I don't know if that's true because no one's actually put a lot of physical stuff outside of pictures. But again, I would not be surprised if that's either fake or that might be her trying to, pass around and be stupid. I don't know. All I know is that her dox is also out there, by the way. Like, there's people like walking in front of her house and like just going, haha, I bet this bitch didn't know so I would be at her house. Like, people know where she lives now. Like, her full information's out there if you look up her name. Her YouTube name on Google. You'll find it. So I assume this has something to do with the fact she's been fully doxxed. Everyone knows who she is. She knows she probably isn't going to get a normal job again because if she had a job, people would know. And if she's going to get a job, any employer is going to know that she's into kids and she's into dogs. So who knows? Maybe this might be some type of weird thing. I don't know. I think it's also funny. She tried to she tried to actually start a non-profit organization about dog fucking, and that didn't even go off the ground the first day. Like she got nuked before like she ever did anything with that. I think that's fucking hilarious. Like, she tried so hard to like make a name for herself with this creepy sick fuck shit, and then she just got savagely destroyed. It's hilarious. I think one of the worst things about it is that like, I guess in a lot of ways what makes her worse is that she was a lot worse than Mary and James because of the reason that she doesn't really hide the fact she's a sick fuck. It's very blatant that she's a sick fuck. While Mary and James will try to lie their way out of it, Sappho would just straight up admit to it. And then will publicly do horrible things in front of everybody. So this bitch got like no self-preservation skills. Like, at all. It's hilarious. So anyway, if you want to watch anything about her, I would recommend Coyote Lovely's video on the subject. He's made a few. They're really well done. He's a friend of the channel anyway, so I have to support him for that reason. Because it's a really good video. So I would recommend that. I have no idea what to say about Sappho. I think in due time I'll talk about her through an actual timeline video, but that'll be for a while. I feel like the story, at least for the Sappho end, might be an end, but I don't think it's going to be. I don't think she's going to be gone forever. I don't know. What do you, the audience, think? Do you think she's gone forever at this point, or she'll just come back? I think she will. She's pretty much admitting to her shit without any qualms. Exactly. She's never once felt remorse about it, and she doesn't even pussyfoot around it. That's the issue with her. She has never at any point pussyfoot around the fact she's into that stuff. So yeah. So yeah, I would definitely say she's mountains worse than those two fucks. She's very convinced that she's on the high ground. That's exactly a large part of it, yes. That's how people like her function. Exactly. Mary is watching 2 uploads since you stopped talking about her. That's Rambo. Oh, I guarantee you she's watching right now. Oh, actually, there was something I forgot to mention about Mary. But I'll get to that in a second. They always come back. Yes, they do. In my personal experience, most of these people are completely unredeemable. If they were redeemable, they wouldn't be on the internet doing this shit. She'll be back. It's something that won't surprise me. Exactly. Same. So, Mary, I know you're watching this, so I need to say this to you. When I was trying to plan on doing this stream, I actually made attempts to talk to you through your YouTube channel, and I offered you a chance on my show to explain your side of the story. Now, of course, that didn't work out, because anytime I tried that, you would flat out ignore me. The problem with this, Mary, is that when you do this, no one's going to believe your side of the story. Just saying. This is the reason why I don't like the way you behave. Because when people give you a chance to explain yourself, Adrasdea, you go out of your way to play victim and not focus on them. So, what I have to ask is, why do you keep acting with this fucking, like, pseudo-complex, victim complex, when I and everyone has given you an option to explain your side in the story, and you decided to just ignore people and go on a victim tangent despite also admitting your crimes in front of everyone to see? Just saying, now that essentially, that, I have you in my sights now, things are probably going to get a lot worse for you. Now that it's made very clear you're a fucking liar and a degenerate scumbag, you have no idea what type of shit you just stepped into. Your compulsive lying isn't going to save you. Your bravado will not save you, Mary. It's not going to save James. It didn't, most certainly as fuck didn't save Sappho. It didn't save Amos Yee. You're not going to be the exception here. You're going to be the rule. And if you want people to really fuck off from you in the long term, all you had to do is tell the truth and be fair and honest to people, and maybe they'll respect you a lot more. But you're not going to do that because it seems you got plenty to hide. I'm sure Roberta would agree. I'm sure your former fiancé, who's in prison over that fiasco, would also agree. I wonder what would happen if a certain Foxman happened to get in contact with him. Now that would be something for another time. Yo, there's a will, there's a way, Mary. Whew. Wow, this... When I say I deliver on the shit show, I deliver on the shit show. I think you guys would agree. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this. I had no idea how to end this off because my brain is a bit fried right now. But I hope you guys enjoy this nonsense. And I got a lot of other stuff planned. Don't worry about this stream. There's a lot bigger things I got planned. And I'll definitely talk about those within due time. I don't like to rush projects. Just understand. Sadly, the case is closed, and she got away with her role in it. Damn, that was quite a damn journey. Yeah, it was. So let's play some final music. We're gonna start with from This Is the Police soundtrack 2, Base Ventura. Thanks for watching.
You